Barbra Streisand, the girl Hollywood rejected, then begged for. Barbara Joan Streisand was born on April 24, 1942, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York, into a working-class Jewish family that knew more struggle than comfort. Her father, Emanuel Streisand, was a high school grammar teacher and scholar with a gentle soul. Tragically, he died of a cerebral hemorrhage when Barbra was just 15 months old, leaving the family shattered and almost penniless. Her mother, Diana Annie Rosen, had once dreamed of being a singer herself but ended up working as a school secretary and later a bookkeeper to feed her two children, Barbra and her older brother, Sheldon. Life in their small apartment on Pulaski Street and later New Lots Avenue in East New York was tough. Diana remarried a used car salesman named Louis Kind, a man Barbra described as cruel and abusive. He mocked her looks, called her ugly, and never made her feel loved or safe. Food was scarce, affection even scarcer. Barbra slept on a cot in friends' living rooms because there was no space at home. She once said, "I never had a doll, so I used a hot water bottle as my baby and sang to it." School was no escape. Classmates bullied her for her unusual looks, the long nose, the crossed eyes, which she later corrected with therapy, the skinny frame. She was awkward, loud, and fiercely intelligent, finishing fourth in her class at Erasmus Hall High School but feeling like an outsider. Yet even at 7 years old, something burned inside her. She would stand on the fire escape and sing to the neighborhood, dreaming of escape. At T13, she discovered her mother's old 78 RPM records and fell in love with the voices of Johnny Mathis and Marian Anderson. She started sneaking into Manhattan to watch Broadway shows from the standing room section. Her mother told her singing was a waste of time and refused to pay for lessons. Barbra saved money from babysitting and bought her own microphone from a pawn shop for $11. At 15, she graduated high school early and left home for good, crashing on friends' couches in Greenwich Village. She changed the spelling of her name to Barbra because I wanted to be unique. She took odd jobs: usherette, theater, switchboard operator, clerk, anything to survive while auditioning nonstop. Chorus roles rejected her, too different, but she kept going to open calls, singing a cappella because she couldn't afford an accompanist. In 1960, at just 18, she entered a talent contest at a Greenwich Village gay bar and won. That night changed everything. The crowd went wild for her raw, soaring voice and fearless personality. Within months, she was singing in small clubs, earning $125 a week, more money than she had ever seen. She bought her first real bed and never looked back. Brooklyn's Ugly Duckling was about to become the greatest star the world had ever heard, and she did it without changing a single thing about herself. By 1964, Barbra Streisand was already Broadway's brightest flame. Funny Girl had made her a theatrical legend at 21 sold-out shows, Tony nominations, and the cover of Time magazine screaming the new Fanny Brice. Yet Hollywood still whispered the same cruel line: "She's too Jewish to New York, too unusual." Producers said she was unphotogenic. Ray Stark, the producer of Funny Girl's film version, fought the studio for 2 years to cast her. Columbia Pictures wanted Shirley MacLaine or Carol Burnett. Stark threatened to shelve the movie. Finally, in 1966, they caved, but only because Barbra agreed to a brutal contract: $500,000 total, peanuts compared to established stars, and no percentage of profits. Filming Funny Girl 1967-68 was war. Director William Wyler, the legendary maker of Ben-Hur, openly admitted he didn't know what to do with her. He kept trying to tone her down, make her pretty and soft. Barbra refused. She argued over every close-up, every line reading, every costume. She demanded they shoot her left profile, only the good side. Crew members rolled their eyes and called her difficult. She didn't care. When the first dailies came back, even Wyler was stunned. The camera loved her in a way no one expected. April 1968, Funny Girl premiered. Critics who had mocked her looks now wrote things like "a comet across the screen" and "the most electrifying debut since Garbo." At the 41st Academy Awards 1969, 26-year-old Barbra walked on stage in a sheer Arnold Scassi pantsuit that became instantly iconic, tied with Katharine Hepburn for Best Actress, the first and only tie in Oscar history. Backstage, a reporter asked, "Do you think you're pretty?" She shot back, "I never have. But tonight, I feel gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous." The rise became a rocket. In 1970, she earned $1 million for What's Up, Doc? making her the highest-paid actress in the world at 28. Then came The Way We Were 1973 opposite Robert Redford, the ultimate screen test of beauty and talent. Redford initially resisted, "Who is this girl with the nose?" After one day of shooting, he told director Sidney Pollack, "She's the best actress I've ever worked with." The film became a global phenomenon. The title song sung by Barbra won the Oscar and topped charts for months. By 1976, she co-starred in and executive produced A Star Is Born, earning $15 million in profit participation alone. But the real power move came in 1983, Yentl. Every studio rejected it, a Jewish period piece directed by a woman? Impossible. She financed it herself in England, directed, produced, co-wrote, and starred. It grossed $40 million, won awards worldwide, and shattered every rule about what women could do behind the camera, from the girl Hollywood said was unfilmable, to the woman who forced Hollywood to rewrite its own definition of a star. In 15 years, Barbra Streisand went from 0 offers to complete control. She never fixed her nose. She fixed the system instead. Barbra's voice was never just a voice. It was a miracle. Critics called it liquid gold, 3 octaves of pure emotion, a once-in-a-century instrument. From the moment she opened her mouth in a tiny Greenwich Village club in 1960, people cried, screamed, and forgot to breathe. Her first album, the Barbra Streisand album 1963, recorded when she was only 20, went straight to number 8 on Billboard and won 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year, the youngest artist ever to do so. Happy Days Are Here Again, sung slow and heartbreaking, became her signature. Then came People 1964. The title track hit number 1 in many countries and stayed in hearts forever. Through the 60s and 70 seconds, she ruled the charts. The Way We Were 1974 number 1 for 3 weeks. Oscar for Best Song, Evergreen 1977. Her own composition, another number 1 and second Oscar. No More Tears, Enough Is Enough, duet with Donna Summer 1979. Disco anthem, Instant #1 Guilty 1980 with Barry Gibb, sold 20 million copies worldwide. She has 10 Grammy Awards, 5 Emmy Awards, 2 Oscars, 1 as composer, the first woman ever, and the Grammy Legend and Lifetime Achievement Awards. Only Elvis and Frank Sinatra have sold more albums among American singers. At 83 to 5, her voice is still flawless. Her 2023 live shows sold out in minutes at $5,000 plus per ticket. Elliott Gould 1963-1971 met in 1961 during Funny Girl auditions. Married in 1963 in a borrowed dress in Carson City. They were young, broke, crazy in love. Their son Jason Gould was born in 1966. The marriage cracked under fame. Barbra was becoming a global name while Elliott struggled. They separated in 1969, divorced in 1971, but remained close friends for life. Elliott later said, "She was a comet. I just tried to hold on." James Brolin 1998 present after years of high-profile romances. Ryan O'Neal, Don Johnson, John Peters, Pierre Trudeau, Andre Agassi, etc. Barbra swore she would never marry again. Then, at a blind date in 1996 set up by friends, she met actor James Brolin. She was 54, he was 56. Their first date, she playfully cut his hair because his ponytail annoyed her. 2 years later, on July 1, 1998, they married at her Malibu estate. It is now the longest celebrity marriage in Hollywood history, 27 years, and still madly in love. They call each other Queen and Prince. Barbra once said, "I was married to my career for 35 years. Then I married the man who lets me keep the career and still holds my hand." From a lonely Brooklyn girl who sang to a hot water bottle, to the greatest voice of all time. And finally to a love that lasted. Barbra did it all, her way. T83. Barbra Streisand is no longer chasing anything, the world is still chasing her. In October 2024, she dropped her 9/8 for page memoir, My Name is Barbra, the longest celebrity autobiography ever published. It debuted at number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list for 6 straight weeks, sold over 800,000 copies in the first month alone, and sparked headlines worldwide when she finally told her unfiltered truth, the childhood pain, the Hollywood battles, the affairs, the feuds, especially with Funny Girl co-star Omar Sharif and producer John Peters, and the victories she earned with blood and tears. The book ends with a simple line that broke millions of hearts: "I thought fame would make me feel safe. It never did. Only love finally did. That love is James Brolin." In July 2025, they quietly celebrated 27 years of marriage, longer than most Hollywood studios have existed. They still live in the same cliffside Malibu compound she bought in the 1970s, still finish each other's sentences, still slow dance in the kitchen to her old records. In a rare 2025 interview with CBS Sunday Morning, she laughed and said, "He's the only person who can tell me to shut up. And I actually listen." Musically, she shocked everyone again. After swearing she was done with albums, she released Evergreens, celebrating 6 decades in October 2025, 22. Brand new recordings of her classics with the original 1960s-80s arrangements, plus one new song, Love Will Survive, written for a Netflix Holocaust series, recorded in her home studio in just 3 weeks. It debuted at number 2 on Billboard 200, the highest charting album ever by an octogenarian woman. Beating Tony Bennett and Vera Lynn, she returned to the stage one last time, 2 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden in August 2025, titled One Voice. One night only, tickets started at $500 and reached $25,000 on resale. She walked out in a simple black gown, no teleprompter, no guest stars, and sang for 2 hours straight. When she closed with people, the entire arena was crying, including her. Backstage, she told her son Jason, "That's it. I'm really done now," and for the first time, the world believed her. Politically fearless as ever, she remains one of the loudest Democratic donors and activists. In 2024 to 2025, she personally raised $28 million for women's reproductive rights and climate causes through her Streisand Foundation. Awards keep coming. In February 2025, she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Biden, who joked, "Barbra, you've been making history since before I had hair." From a fatherless girl in Brooklyn who owned nothing but a hot water bottle, to the most awarded female artist in history, to Oscars, 10 Grammys, 5 Emmys, 1 Tony, Medal of Freedom, Kennedy Center Honor, Offie Life Achievement, and every other prize that exists, Barbra Streisand never fixed her nose. She fixed the world's idea of perfection instead, and somewhere tonight, an 83-year-old woman in Malibu is probably humming to herself, smiling at her husband, knowing she did it all exactly her way. Hello, gorgeous. Forever.